Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling a pretty charged topic, crime statistics in cities comparing those run by Democrats versus Republicans.
Yeah, it gets talked about a lot, often in really simple terms.
Exactly. So we're digging into the data. We've got FBI UCR numbers and that new NIBRS system info, plus reports from the Council on Criminal Justice, BJS, even local police departments.
Right. The idea is to see what the actual numbers suggest, acknowledging it's, well, complicated. Immigration, economics, policing, lots of factors.
Definitely. Our mission. Get the key insights. Avoid jumping to easy conclusions. So first off, how are we defining this? Basically, the mayor's political party. See, big cities, right? New York, LA, Chicago, Philly, SF, often Democratic mayors.
That's the trend in major urban areas, yeah.
Then you have places like Dallas, Fort Worth, Oklahoma City, Miami, more likely Republican, though maybe less common in the really big, diverse cities.
And Dallas is interesting. The mayor switching parties kind of highlights the political currents.
It does. And sometimes it's inconsistent. Like San Diego's mayor's affiliation seems to vary depending on the source. Shows how dynamic it is.
Absolutely. Large urban centers tend to lean Democrat, so the mayoral pattern often reflects that.
Okay, let's look at some crime numbers, focusing on 2023 if we can. New York City.
Well, a mixed bag. Decreases in some index crimes like murder, burglary, but increases in others like rape and felony assault.
And overall, major crime in 23 was still higher than, say, 2019 pre-pandemic.
Right. So even with a Democratic mayor, you see these complex, varied trends suggest local factors are really powerful.
What about Los Angeles?
Some good news there. Homicides, violent crime down in 2023 and into 2024. But property crime, a bit inconsistent.
And their overall crime rate, while improving maybe, is still above the national average.
Which again shows, major cities face big challenges regardless of the mayor's party sign.
Chicago saw homicides drop a 5-year low, actually, getting back towards pre-pandemic levels in 2023.
That's significant progress on homicides. But you still have stark racial disparities in who's affected.
And increases in robberies, motor vehicle thefts in 2023, plus aggravated assaults were high in early 2024.
So, yeah, it's never just one simple story. Progress here, challenges there.
Philadelphia reported a big drop in shootings recently, lower homicides in 23 compared to the peak lowest violent crime in a decade.
That's a notable turnaround.
San Francisco, too, overall crime down 7% in 23, more reductions in 24, lowest homicide count since the 60s reported for 2024.
Interesting there, though, is the split lower violent crime than average for big cities, but higher property crime.
It really highlights how different crime types can move independently. Very local dynamics.
Exactly.
Now let's flip to some Republican-led cities. Oklahoma City.
Saw a slight uptick in homicides in 2024 compared to the previous couple of years.
Okay. Fort Worth.
They reported a decrease in overall crime between 2019 and 2023. Homicides down, too, over 20% in 2023.
And they had that targeted safety plan in one district, West 7th, which saw a huge 36% crime drop.
Shows specific interventions can matter.
Miami's interesting. After years of decline, they saw a big increase in their crime index in 2023, including homicides.
Yeah, that's surprising. And their violent crime rate in Miami-Dade County was higher than Florida's average and the national one. Although paradoxically, murder rates were reported at historic lows for the county overall in 2023. Very complex.
It just hammers home, doesn't it? You can't draw a straight line from party affiliation to crime trends. We see ups and downs everywhere.
Absolutely. Local context, specific policies, those seem much more influential.
Okay, let's talk sanctuary cities and immigration. New York, LA, Chicago, Philly, SF Democratic mayors, sanctuary policies limiting ICE cooperation. What's the link to crime?
Well, this is where the research is surprisingly consistent. Study after study finds no statistical link between sanctuary policies and increased crime.
No link. Some studies even suggest a decrease.
Exactly. Research using different methods, including causal inference, finds no discernible difference in violent or property crime rates. Another 2020 study showed no effect on crime, just fewer deportations of non-criminals.
And what about immigrants themselves? The narrative is often that they increase crime.
The evidence points the other way. Immigrants, including undocumented ones, appear less likely to commit crimes than native-born citizens.
Really?
Yeah. There's actually an inverse relationship observed over decades. As the immigrant share of the population grew, the overall U.S. crime rate fell. Communities with more immigrants often have lower crime rates.
So that whole argument about sanctuary cities driving up crime.
It just doesn't seem to be supported by the data we have.
Fascinating. Okay, beyond mayors and immigration, What else is crucial? Socioeconomic factors, right? Poverty, unemployment, inequality.
Absolutely critical. Concentrated poverty, lack of opportunity, the stress of unemployment, wide income gaps. Research strongly links these to higher crime rates, especially violent crime.
Like the theory of relative deprivation, feeling left behind.
Precisely. It creates social strain and can weaken community structures that normally help prevent crime. It's likely these factors have a much bigger impact than just who is mayor.
And population density. Does cramming more people together increase crime?
The research there is mixed, actually. Sometimes, yes, more opportunities for crime, perhaps, but also maybe more eyes on the street, more social control. It probably depends on the type of crime and other local factors.
Age distribution, too. Traditionally, more young people meant more crime, but is that still the case?
That's being challenged. Poverty might be a stronger predictor now than just age demographics. Younger people do have higher arrest rates, but the reasons are complex. Some studies find age structure doesn't have a significant impact when you control for other things.
And finally, policing strategies. Does just having more police work?
Deterrence theory has mixed support in research. Some economic studies suggest larger police forces do reduce crime, maybe more through deterrence than just locking people up.
What about things like focused deterrence, targeting specific groups like gangs?
Pulling levers, yeah. That combines law enforcement with community help and social services. Meta-analyses show it can have a moderate effect, but it varies.
And community engagement seems key.
Hugely important. Working with residents, designing solutions together, sometimes just more policing, over-policing, can backfire. It's complex to measure the true impact.
So wrapping this up, the big picture seems to be there's no simple answer linking the mayor's party to how safe a city is.
Not at all. Socioeconomic conditions, specific local policies, policing strategies, community dynamics, these seem to be much stronger drivers. And immigration doesn't appear to increase crime despite the rhetoric.
It's a web of interconnected factors.
Exactly.
So for you listening, the takeaway isn't about simple labels. It's about understanding all these complex ingredients that shape safety in urban areas. Maybe think about your own community, what local policies and factors, beyond just the mayor, might be influencing things there. Thanks for diving deep with us.